and you're going to be very quiet today while Mr. Dawson stands up here and blathers on and on and on whilst we draw 3, count them, 3 drawing lessons today. Are you with me? Yes. I said, are you with me? Yes! Okay. Let's start with the cake because I want you to warm up. There we go, you brilliant children. Give me a nice foreshortened circle. Beautiful, beautiful top of the cake. I hear the mouths, they are flapping. Why are the mouths flapping, thought Mr. Dawson? Because he was just talking about how they were not going to be flapping, that we were going to focus on these drawings so we could do 3 drawings. Why did this happen, he wondered. And then the thought occurred to him. Somebody had to sharpen a pencil. Because that always happens as we get going. So, I've got my nice cylindrical cake sitting up here. I'm going to come... From all the way across the room, I'm going to put a central dot. So I know where the middle of the cake is. So I can slice the cake. Do they make you slice your cake when you're the birthday boy or girl? Man, that's awful. Sit there giving away all the cake. No, that's too big. No, it's too small. No, I want a bit. Yeah. Well, you're waiting for your cake. Now I'm going to pull down the sides of the wedge so I can make a wedge in my cake. Give my cake a wedgie here. Oh, cake wedgie. See, next time you're cutting the cake, you say, "Ah, cake wedgie. Now, who wants some?" There. So I've taken out a nice wedge. There. We'll put some candles on there. You can put 10 or 11 candles, as if it's your 10 or 11th birthday cake. You can put 16 candles, wah, 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 wah. Make a lovely light, wah, 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 wah. What? But not as bright, wah, 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 wah. Close your eyes tonight. Wah, 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 wah. Blow, wow. The candles. I do like to see you children draw large pictures. Do you know why Mr. Dawson can draw so beautifully? It's because I cheat and I'm up here drawing nice big pictures. When you draw your pictures big, they're easy. You try and draw real tiny pictures, it's harder to get the lines to look straight. It's harder to get the relative sizes correct. You have much more flexibility when you draw a large picture than when you draw a small picture. There's only one voice in the classroom. Why am I competing? Why, he wondered. And then light those candles. Go. Yes, yes.
How about make that candle into a pencil?
You could make pencil candles. Absolutely. It would be the drawing cake.
That would taste bad.
I wouldn't light it. It would smell high. But you could make pencil candles. Yes, you could. Because this is your mighty world, and you are the mighty creator of this world. This world on your two-dimensional piece of paper that you are turning into a 3D wonderland with your exceptional drawing skills. Drawing skills that you can only acquire through practice. Practicing with me, Mr. Dawson, when I come to your classroom. That's why we do this week after week. Otherwise, you wouldn't have the skills that you have today, and you will not have the skills that you will develop tomorrow without my continued assistance. Here, Mr. Dawson, your drawing instructor who comes regularly, because when he comes here, he does not have to go to the office and write about computer books. Boring. No, that's not true. I really like my job. I just like drawing too. You can do both. See, I'm not trying to turn you guys into artists so that you have to go get a tiny apartment in New York and suffer for your art the rest of your life. I want you to know that you can draw so that any time you need to draw, you'll feel confident that you can do it. That's the 5th time I've done these drawing lessons, so I can't remember everything I've talked about. Did I mention that I got a new friend on Facebook this week? No. I didn't mention it yet. Good, because I don't like to repeat myself, because when I repeat myself and I repeat the same thing, it's like I'm repeating myself. And you don't like to hear the same repetitious. Yeah. Everybody make a wish. Blow out the cake. And away it went. Oh, what does that experience, Mr. Dawson? Drawing. I was friended by a good friend who I haven't contacted in a while, Mr. Mark Kistler.
What? Okay.
Yes.
He's your friend?
Yes. Yes, I found him out on the interweb, and I sent him the friend request, and he friended me. He's going to be in town this weekend. We're going to go have dinner. What do you think of that? If you have friended me on the Facebook, you're always welcome to friend me on Facebook, but talk to your parents first. Remember, you have to friend me. I do not friend you. If you friend me on the Facebook, you can see pictures from when I worked at Disneyland and when I worked at Great America. There are no pictures from when I worked at Carl's Jr. I used to flip hamburgers. I put up some pictures of me in costumes. Yes, I was the roller skating horse clown in the Disneyland Christmas parade. You can see me in my clownish gear.
Oh, yeah, gear. I wonder if this Dawson the clown.
Yep. Yes, I want you to remember that, gang, when you grow up, you get older. Remember something, pinch yourself right now as I tell you this. There are lots of jobs you can get, particularly when you're in high school. And some of those jobs are perfectly acceptable jobs, doing things like cooking pizzas or flipping hamburgers. And that's great. Everybody, I mean, people want to have hamburgers and pizzas and good stuff like that, so those are great jobs. But there are also all kinds of other jobs out there. You can work with the Parks and Recreation Department. If you work with Parks and Recreation, you can work with kids playing games and stuff. That is a lot of fun. Or you can do what I did. You can go to Great America and sing, do a few dance steps. But the way I actually got my job at Great America, I could play the spoons. I would take 2 spoons and rattle them together. I'll have to bring some spoons and show you sometime. But yeah, they needed a spoon player, actually. I became Frenchy Kennard, the syncopated stew chef. That's true.
How about when you worked at Disneyland?
When I worked at Disneyland, well, it's the same thing. They had us come in. Mostly I had to do dance steps. Now, I'm not a dancer. I just had to show them that I could really move with the beat and not trip over my own feet. What, fun? At Disneyland? Well, I'll tell you, the fun thing about Disneyland is that since I was an employee, I could go anywhere in Disneyland. There were very few places that I wasn't able to go. And I could get from one end of Disneyland to the other in under 5 minutes. Yeah, because they make it so that you have to go through every land and you have to turn right and turn left and go through all the different rides. But if you can go backstage, which is what they call it, when you go in the back areas, you can go straight across. One fun thing about Disneyland is anything you can't actually see is not there. So if you're in the Pirates of the Caribbean and you see them from the waist up, there's nothing from the waist down. All they are is a pirate from here up. If you can't see it, it's not there. When you're on the Jungle Cruise, if you see Hippo from the side, then there's, if you see his left side, there's no right side. Yep. Because you can't see it, why would they put it there, right?
Yeah, I get it.
And those kids in It's a Small World, it's a small world, it's a small world. Now, they've got to stand there and sing that song all day long for years and years, and they don't want them breaking down. So the mechanism in their mouth that makes it move is very strong, very powerful. If you were to stick your finger into the mouth of one of those children as they're singing, bite it right off. Yes.
How do you know this? Do you stick your finger inside it?
I did stick my finger inside there, right here. No. No, people tell you that kind of stuff. Is it true? Yeah, it's true. Mr. Lincoln, when he stands up, he stands up, Mr. Lincoln. You don't want to try and stop him from standing up because they have got some pretty strong machinery in there. He could lift me up without even thinking about it. Well, Mr. Lincoln, he could hold me in his arms. Oh, yep. They got to make those things strong. Strong like bear.
To forget the small world after all. It's impossible. It's so
There's a lot of talking about it.
Someone just mentioned it, whoop, right back.
I was also one of those costumed characters. They needed somebody. What I did was parades and special events. That's what I did when I was working here. So.
Do you autograph those autograph book things?
Yes, I autographed books many times. I was Brer Bear. Brer Bear, big old bear, and I was Big Al. Yeah, because they had a costume that you could wear around the park in addition to the one in the TV show, in the ride, the Bear Country ride, Okay. So I would wear Brer Bear. Now, Brer Bear has got this big chin sticking out. I could, when I would put the costume on, put the head on, it was way up here. His head is up here, and I was looking out of his chest. Here's his chest, all right? And some child would talk to me right here, and I'd bend down to talk to that child. Well, my big old chin would hit the child behind it. So I'd hit out, hi, how are you? Bam! And I'd hit the kid. Yeah. I had to learn how to use that costume. I hit the same girl twice, I remember, and she's dazed. Oh, boy. Such good times. Yes, my friend.
What did you do at Carl's Jr.?
What did I do at Carl's Jr.? I was called the feeder. I used to work during the lunch rush. I would take frozen hamburger patties and toss them into this charbroiling machine. It would catch it, and that's all I did. I was not the guy who put the burger on the bun. I didn't take the money. I didn't wipe the tables. I did this. Here comes a new guy. Okay, let's start cooking him a hamburger. That's what I did. It was boring. So think about that, kids. You can be the roller skating clown on a horse at Disneyland, or you can be the guy at Carl's Jr. down the street who goes, you get the same amount of money. Actually, I think I made 10 cents more an hour when I worked at Disneyland. A little bit more. But these jobs are out there. There are all kinds of fun jobs. And I want all of you to go out and do all those cool, fun jobs and let other people flip the hamburgers and make the pizzas. Okay? How much money did I get? Oh, let's see. I made $3.10 an hour, and they usually tried to get us 40 hours, so it was $120 a week. I lived in a one-room apartment with 4 other guys. We just kind of put our sleeping bags anywhere, and we were always out anyway. It didn't matter. We worked from 9 in the evening until 1 in the morning because it was the electrical parade during the summer. Or else we, anyway. And my rent, breaking it down that way, was $40 a month. So we did pretty well. But there were lean times, children. I remember one time when all I had was $1 to eat on for an entire week. Let's do the Draw Squid while I'm telling these fanciful tales. I'm sorry, what? No, I have everything I have said, strangely enough, because it's not my typical modus operandi, everything I have said today is absolutely true. Yeah, you can see the picture of me as the roller skating horse clown. You can see me as the syncopated stew chef. If you go take a look at my Facebook, photo album. All right, so I'm going to draw the Draw Squid here, and I'm going to overlap his eyes just a little bit. Overlapping, one of our 10 keywords of drawing in 3D. So the eye that's closer to us is slightly larger, the one that's behind is slightly smaller. And we've overlapped this eyeball onto the other so that we know that it's the one that's closer to us. You like that? Just pretend you like it. That'll make me happy. There we go. All right. Now, Mr. Draw Squid has tentacles, and they're going all kinds of different directions here. I've got one going that way, and I'm going to put one going up here. We're going to finish this one on his left side in just a minute. But we're going to give him tentacles akimbo here. Sorry? Tentacles akimbo. When you put your arms like this, that's arms akimbo. I don't know where that term comes from. You'll have to look it up in the dictionary. It is spelled A-K-I-M-B-O. And akimbo was his name. So you look that up. Next time I come here, you can tell me what it means. Why do you make me work so hard? I'm old. Thank you. Thank you for your pity. I will accept your pity because I'm old. Yeah. I am so old that when I was a boy, there were only 3 television channels. Yeah, I've told you about that, I'm sure. I am so old. In fact, there were no videotapes. Any of you watch videotapes anymore?
Yes.
Some of you? Some of you? Videotapes are outdated. Well, there were no videotapes, home video, until I was working at Great America. About 1976. That's when you could get them before that, but that's when they became common. 1976. Dinosaurs still roamed the earth. Now, in 1976, there was cable television, so there were a lot more channels to watch, but you still had to watch what they told you to watch when they decided to show it.
Come on.
If you missed it, you missed it. That was it.
No recording?
Well, you could record on the VCR when the VCR became more common. Yeah, but before that, when I was your age, microwave ovens were first introduced. We thought that they were hilarious. We made lots of microwave oven jokes about putting a cake in the oven and going downstairs, coming back, and their apartment's in flames. Ah, funny. That's happened many times, of course, but it was funny to us. Because we just didn't know. In my day, we had to listen to record albums. And you would drop the needle down, hoping to get the song you wanted, or you'd have to let the machine do it, and you'd have to wait for 7 minutes to hear the song you wanted to hear. No iPods. My iPod is my favorite thing that I own. I value people more than things, and experiences more than things. But of the things that I own, I love my iPod. I've got a giant Draw Squid now. He's bigger than the headquarters. I know that because I've just overlapped this pencil onto the Draw Squad headquarters. His name is Akimbo. Akimbo, the white Draw Squid. And you can have him holding anything you want. He happens to be the Draw Squid. He likes to handle the pencils, etc. I'm going to tell you now, your homework for next time, boys and turtles, is I would like for you to teach someone else one of the drawing lessons you've learned this year. It could be one of the Ed Emberley lessons, or it could be one of the things we're learning to draw here. I want you to teach your mom or your dad, uncle, aunt, grandma, better still, a little brother or little sister, an older brother, older sister. Show them how to draw one of the drawings that we've done here. Show them all about shading and sing the shading song with them. You ready? Keep going. Yeah. So teach them the shading song because that's a very important part of drawing. Shade, shade, shade. Yes, we love shade, 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 shade. We love shade, shade, shade. Shade in the shade, 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 shade. Drink lemonade, shade, shade, shade. Eggs must be laid, shade, shade, shade. There we go. So you keep going. I've only got a few tentacles on here. I don't know how many tentacles a squid has. You can look that up. I actually believe it's more than 8. I think it's more than an octopus. Otherwise, you'd call it an octosquid. Look it up. Look it up. You got all the books all over the world. You could even call, if you like, the reference desk at the library. They would answer that question for you. Or you can look it up on the internet. You can do this all the time. And I would like for you to find out, how many tentacles does a typical squid have? The other thing I want you to find out for me is whether you can teach a sibling, a parent, a grandparent to draw. Will you do that for me? Excellent. I will see you next week, boys and girls.